The creatures of Naturia Forest. On this planet, there is a woodland stretching out far over the horizon, Naturia Forest. It is a vast, fertile region called home to bugs, plants, stones, and other creatures given to life by the earth itself. There are no wars here, and rarely are there any disturbances, save the occasional human wandering in. The forest's inhabitants are peaceful in nature, and always try to avoid conflict. The Naturia have reshaped the vegetation to block passage through the forest, and the rock Naturia have closed off the dangerous cliffs and holes to create a path. In order to lead the wandering humans away from the heart of the forest, and prevent them from going deeper into the forest. Now and again, when an innocent child strays in, the Naturia themselves will appear to guide the way back home. However, not all who stray into the forest are pure in their intentions. Some scoundrels are scheming to steal away a part of the forest keeper's body. It is said that the power within it would raise a man's strength unto that of a god. It is said to be an ingredient for a miracle elixir that grants eternal life and cures all disease. It is said the sum it would fetch would be too great to spend even in 3 lifetimes. Having placed their faith in these dubious whisperings, they have trespassed deep into the forest. The inhabitants of the forest show no mercy to intruders with such ignoble aims. Even the non-violent Naturia have their ways of roughing up intruders and encouraging them to go back whence they came. That said, the Naturia do not wish to maim or kill anybody. For instance, the parched intruders reached out to take a bite of Naturia strawberry. But hidden in the fruit's shadow is the prick of Naturia horn needle. The intruders fled in surprise, only to be caught in the web of Naturia Spiderfang. Dangling helplessly, they then receive a tackle from Naturia Bambooshu. How the intruders fled with all their might, rubbing their bruises and licking their wounds. Many of the Naturia are small in stature and equally slight in strength. But by cooperating as neighbors, they help each other to protect the forest from their enemies. Things continued in this manner for hundreds upon thousands of years, the forest blessed with abundance and united in peace. However, eventually, a new menace appeared that threatened that very way of life. These invaders from outer space were known as worms. With the arrival of the worms, the era of peace in Naturia Forest was ruptured at last. At first, they seemed to be no more than a minor curiosity, like others that appeared in the forest from time to time. And so they were dealt with in the same way as any other interlopers. But it was futile, for the worms did not cease. On the contrary, their numbers grew by the day.
The entire forest will be overrun if things continue like this.
A number of Naturia stood up, vowing to take down the worms and protect the forest. These were the Keepers, the most powerful beings in Naturia Forest. As days went by, the fierceness of conflict only increased. In occasional moments of respite, Naturia Leodrake looked back fondly on the time of peace that was now but a memory. It seemed he had been fighting almost non-stop. He couldn't remember the last time he had laid down to sleep. Such is the strength of Leodrake's relentless fangs and ravaging claws that even the worms prove no match. But their numbers are overwhelming, and their assaults keep coming one after another. The ever-dependable Naturia Beast and Naturia Barkion and even the usually static Naturia Landois have been called into action again and again. Leo Drake had hardly a moment's rest before he heard the wing beats of an approaching Naturia horn needle swarm. They had come with a message. A great host of worms was on the way. Noticing unrest among the trees, Leo Drake braced himself for combat. The previous series of battles had taken a toll, chipping away at his strength. Nevertheless, Leo Drake will fight on.
The forest must be protected. This place where we live in peace must be preserved.
The lion of the Naturia rouses himself, letting out a louder roar than ever. Then, he charges straight into the horde of worms, laying waste to all in his path.